Now, can we cultivate both, masculine and feminine? We have to. It's good to cultivate both. Okay, now let's dive deep into your own relationship. Okay, I want you to feel where you are on the scale. Are you more masculine? I'm more masculine. I'm about 70% masculine, 30% feminine. She happens to be 70% feminine and about 30% masculine. You always attract your reciprocal. You're not 50-50. If you were, you would have no sexual polarity. You would be more of a platonic type relationship. There are some people who are right in the center, but they usually have very little interest in sexual or relational energy. They tend to be more by themselves, or if they are in a relationship, it tends to be non-sexual or very little, but not because there's trauma or something, a problem, they just don't have a desire. It's just never did. But it's not because something bad happened. You get it? Okay, so how can you tell? Let's check it out. Are you ready? Real test. Okay, in your sexual fantasies, okay, do you desire being the one who's taking more, meaning pinning up your partner up against the wall, pinning them down, giving it to them, ripping their clothes off, holding them, commanding?
More of the time.
More of the time. Do you prefer that, and that your partners, let's say, do you prefer that more? Or do you prefer the one that's being swept off their feet? The one that's being taken, I'm talking about in your fantasies. So do you prefer, would you like to be the one that's more so, because it's not binary, more so the one that's being taken, the one that's being, whoa, what are they going to do next? Oh, I can't even, what are they going to do next? Like I got no mind, like, oh my God, my leg's going up here, what's going on, you know? But just so let's feel into that. By the way, I also love when she takes me. It's like, does the ravishing on me, and I become the one that's being ravished. Okay, so it's not like one or the other, okay? But the other thing to look at is in your sexual fantasies, is your partner the same size as you? Are they smaller than you, or are they bigger than you? Who would prefer more so that their partner is the same size? Smaller than them? Okay? Bigger than them? Okay. Interesting. See these energies? Okay, now. Oh boy. Now you ready for some fun? Sure. I'm going to show you how screwed up we are.
I have a mirror thing.
Okay. Now, get a load of this. This is going to be really funny but a bit wacky, alright? So let's say, for example, you're a feminine person. Your essence is you're identified with light. Light and love. Light is what love looks like when it's turned on. So when people are in love, or you see a pregnant lady and she's like really happy that she's got a baby, you know, happening here, there's a radiance. There's a warm, there's a glowing radiance when the feminine is really feeling the flow of love, right? It's a natural, you don't know what it is, but they're like, it's attractive. Wow. I can walk in a room. It may not be sexual, it can be, but it's like there's a magnetic aura, there's a light, an actual light that you can subtly see. So let's say this person has a feminine essence, and then when they're young, right, they were told that, hey, to be feminine is no good, you'll be weak, people stomp all over you, so now you need to be somebody. You need to, let's say your sister over there, she's the pretty sister, and but you're going to be the smart one. Right? That's what, let's say, the uncles and the family sort of puts out. So what happens is this feminine young gal unfortunately, what happens is she starts developing a false masculine shell. It's not her true self, but she's taking it on. Then later on in life, she's a teenager. She sees that all the girls that are getting attention are the ones wearing these particular Santana jeans, was the ones in our era, and then wearing these type of clothes and all that. But it's not the true feminine, but she's taking it on so that she can be like the other girls and attract the boys. So now she develops a false feminine shell. Then later on, let's say she goes to a personal development workshop and she's a young lady and they say, you got to achieve, you got to make it big and go for it. And then, so now she develops another false masculine shell. Pretty wacky, eh? So that's all there. Guess who she'll attract? Take a look at this. She'll attract someone who's got, at their core, a masculine essence. But let's say, whenever he asserted some direction, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that, the dad or the mom said, no, you can't do that, you got to do this. So he was crushed to express his direction, his own personal direction. So, or let's say his dad or someone in the house, it was a little tense. So whenever he tried to express direction, he couldn't, so he had to become super sensitive as not to stir or get anger, have anger happen in the house. Following me? So now he develops a false feminine shell, which is hypersensitivity, but only for protection. Later on, he's a teenager. He sees that if I wear Levi's jean jacket and something like this, and Van Halen pin, and speaking from direct experience here, then I'll be the cool guy that gets the girls and all that, right? So it may not be what you like to wear, especially in Toronto when it's sub-zero -20, and if you wear a sweater underneath your jean jacket, you're like you're not cool. You know what I mean? So develop a false masculine shell, and then later on in life, I do some personal growth work. I get in touch with my feelings, and I get the idea that, oh, okay, now to be a sensitive guy is what women really want. So now I develop a false feminine. If you look at the shells, it's the shells that are attracting each other. Can you see that? You always attract your reciprocal. And your real, true heart rarely have a chance to touch. Rarely have a chance to feel good. Rarely have a chance to go, that's what we're aching for. And when you open to this, the truth of who you are, and guess what? All these shells, they drop instantly. You transcend them. You move through them. So what we're going to do after a short break is, by the way, you can work on all these shells. If it took you 10 years to develop this, it's going to take you 20 years to undo it therapeutically. So let's add 10, 20, 30. So let's double that. 60 years. Let's go. Ready, set, go. By the time you finish undoing these shells, you'll be ready for
Your next slide.
You're going to be retired. And if you didn't start when you were 20, well, you're screwed.
That's the bad news.
On that note, let's go home now.
But there is good news.
Does this make sense? Does this make sense in some way? We are all some conglomeration of this. You develop masculine shells thinking if I'm gonna, you got the idea that education from the family, from all of that, you achieve that, you do that, but you don't really care about dentistry, you care about people. You don't care if it's a tooth or a leg or a heart that's broken. You just want to connect with it. That's why you're doing that profession. You don't care about what really that is. For you, the more importantly is the freedom that you're able to create with what you're doing. That's your deepest cores. That's what brought you two together, but you got these wacky things. Because when you start asserting your masculine, she rejects it because she doesn't trust it. You understand? Then you go feminine thinking that that's what she wants because you want to be a good man. Then she does that, then the subconscious part, then part of her goes, he's fucking doing what I'm telling him to do. And then you're going, I'm doing what I'm telling you to do, and now you're even more turned off. And she's like, she doesn't get it in her head because she actually wants you to do that, but she doesn't.
And you know what else? At the heart of what she does, she is testing you to places where you feel like you're going insane. Like, why? I'm a good man. Why is she doing this to me? You know?
Why are you doing this to me? I am a good man.
She's doing this.
Answer that one?
Yes, I can answer that one. Because she feels your core and wants to see it. And she wants you to rise up to be the best man that you can be for your sake. For your sake. Because she sees you. She may not consciously know that, and through awareness of it, she'll get that she's not wanting you to be the king. She knows at her very core that you are the king, and she wants her king. She wants you to be that man that she knows you are. And when she gets that at her core she knows that, then she will treat you like that king. And that's the thing that we forget, because we're doing what's best for them, but the way we go about it is not suiting of our king. So with that awareness, what would you offer your king? Knowing that at the heart of him, that's who he is. Without holding back. Don't wait, because he's not going to show it to you. You have to inspire that out. Invite that out. Through what? Do you remember what? Using your... Say that louder. Body, yes. There you go.
So what
And
would you...
let me say that when you give that, you will notice him respond as the one that you know him to be. Because he'll only recognize his queen. And when you're behaving any less than that, he doesn't recognize you. He can't see you. He can't hear you. That's when we wonder, why isn't he listening to us? Because he doesn't know who the hell we are. He's looking for his queen. And we're behaving less than that. When we show up as the queen that he knows us to be, he will bow down and cherish that queen in the way that he knows to do.